Hey, Shalini. Hope you're doing all right. Thanks again for asking such a great question. And again, working on an amazing product and team over at Threado. So excited to see what you're all doing next. And again, I appreciate the invitation. You asked two great questions. I'll start with the first one, which is Notion's community is spread across multiple platforms today. How do you ensure engagement across platforms? And what are the challenges you face while managing multiple platforms? Yeah, great question. So here at the Notion team, we really kind of focus on three of our Notion programs, which is the Ambassadors Program, Champions Program, and Campus Leaders Program. Outside of that, all of our communities are actually run independently. So we're not part of, we have a Reddit Notion subreddit, and there are, I think, 200,000 members. There's a Facebook group that's like 250,000 members in Vietnam. We actually are not admins or owners of those. But what we try to do is we try to make sure we engage with those leaders, the people that are organizing those communities, and give them all the tools, support, and resources they need to kind of do the best work that they can. So recently, I think it was last year when we first reached 100,000 members on our subreddit, we did a big giveaway. We sent out members a chance to kind of drop in some of their most or the best learned tips and just like why they love the community so much. And we sent out little like appreciation gifts. For Notion Vietnam, recently one of their members reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, how do you engage the community? What can I be doing better? Like, any tips you can provide?" And we try to send out a quick video, a document kind of outlining what are some of the most helpful things that we've learned along the way. So really what we try to do is engage with the community leaders so that they can kind of engage with the wider community as well, which has been fairly successful and just great to kind of see continue to grow. And then what are the challenges that you face while managing multiple platforms? Well, it's I think some of the challenges are one, like there isn't consistency, right? We have a very particular brand, and sometimes one group will look a certain way, the other will look another way. So that's kind of been a bit tough. It's something that I'm getting used to, being okay with. And I think other than that, it's really kind of sometimes we don't know, how quickly some of these communities are growing or where we can kind of jump in and help. So I think those are two of the bigger challenges that we face. We're finding new ways to kind of improve these as we move forward. For one, we usually give out assets to a lot of our members. So when they're building out their communities, they have like a fairly standard asset that they can kind of share across these different platforms. And also, when it comes to reaching out to folks and making sure that we kind of keep track of their growth. We've set up the system where we basically kind of go through once a week and just track how many members these communities have. So again, I'm sure there's a lot that we can do better there, but it's kind of what we kind of been putting together more recently to make sure we are keeping an eye on how many of these are growing, where we can help, where we can jump into kind of better support, and just make sure that members are feeling engaged with. And then the last question here: what are the North Star metrics for the community team at Notion? I think growth, right? I think the number one thing right now is growth. Like how many communities are starting up? How large are these communities? How are they growing? Really, it's just coming down to how can we better support these folks from around the world? And I think as we continue to go, we'll kind of develop new metrics and different ways to kind of see how it comes back into some of our larger goals. But for the time being, we just want to make sure that we're supporting everyone as best as we can and kind of going from there. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And if you have any specifics or any follow-ups you want me to kind of dive in deeper to, I'm happy to jump in there.